Oando's share price appreciation of over 600,000 this year has been driven by a combination of impressive financial results in 2023 and the acquisition completion of 100% shareholding interest in the Nigerian Ajip oil company from Italian energy company Eni for a total consideration of $783 million. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu joins me now for more. Mr. Chika, good morning to you.
Abby, how are you today?
Very well, thanks. And yourself?
Yeah.
Good. All right, well, let's get into this. What should we know about all of this?
I mean, one of these days, whenever the name is mentioned, it's almost like good news.
Yes, fair enough.
And one group of people there are really very happy, and those are the investors, and smiling and looking at the past that had been like a challenging time for them to the current time. I mean, for example, from a share price of about 10 naira 50, almost at the beginning of this year, the price currently is about 77 naira, more than 33% increase in the share price, which is very commendable. Indeed, as it is, I think in the energy group in the stock exchange, that I think the second best stock there. And in Nigeria, they are about one of the top 10 stocks, And the next things I'm going to say are really important for our viewers who normally always come to my page and ask me questions, and what is happening? Why is the share price of a company this way? And I say when the share price of a company actually moves up, you're going to ask yourself what are the things behind that? Sometimes we use the word, what are the fundamentals of the stock? For example, if a pharmaceutical stock, moves up, tremendously, like the way the Oando stock has moved, you ask yourself, did they discover new drugs, for one of these deadly diseases that nobody has gotten before, or did they suddenly get into government favorable policies, like a free tax scheme that will increase their profits and therefore dividend to the shareholders? If a construction company, for example, also, gets high growth in their stock price, you ask, did they get a bundle of contracts that are major that will have a very big impact on their profits? So these are the kind of questions you normally will ask. So for Oando, therefore, it's right to ask, as you read in your rider, how could the share price have moved more than 600%? Is it just by fluke and things like that? And the analysis we have done has shown that the share price movement is not just by fluke. It has been due to deliberate actions by the management over a long period of time that have led to actions that have impacted profitability. For example, the company board and directors for a long time now have wanted to exit the low downstream sector of the oil and gas market, lower margins, very problematic, and gradually move to the upstream segment, which what they have achieved in doing. Even hinted at in your rider. So it's very intentional, the things they have done. The rally for their stock, started from really has been there at the beginning of the year, but it got accentuated in, I think, May, when their 2023 unaudited accounts came out. And then I call it, because we analyzed that audited account on this program, actually. And that time I made emphasis that it was unaudited, because it was actually unaudited, and I wanted to make sure that the figures, stayed. And it was necessary because Oando had a succession of bad results in the past. And that result showed that there was 71% growth to about 3.4 trillion in their revenues. And most importantly, their pre-tax profit grew by more than 270%. From a loss of what is 1.8 billion in 2022, it went to a profit of 104 billion. That was major, and that hit the market and the sentiment of investors. And that's what led to the rally starting. And the rally intensified when, again, Oando, good news came out of again. As I say, it's good news for them these days. They announced, Oando management announced, that the long-standing acquisition of Nigerian Ajip oil company, shares have gone through. The government has finally approved it. And so that's had a lot of impact, The transaction was basically, they were parts of the joint venture group before, between themselves, NNPC and NAOC, with 20%, 40%, and 40% for the government. But what happened was that they bought off the NAOC shares of 20% and moved their own to 40%. And that was major for them. And that announcement, again, of course, had good sentiment to the shareholders and investors. And that, again, started moving the share prices up. So no wonder that where we are today in the share price. So for Oando, again, you ask yourself, what could happen? Immediately on the acquisition, the impact will what? Increase in production. Profitability will increase. Again, good sentiments and filter through to the investors in the market. So I mean, it continues for them that the investment or that acquisition, with the budget reserves they have, Oando is poised to, Nigeria has been hungry for barrels of oil to assist in the drive towards the 2 million barrels a day budget or target for the government in oil production. So with the budget reserves they have, with the cash generative set the assets have, Oando was poised again to move to the next level in their growth. Again, that's good sentiment to the investors. So you will ask me, Abby, that what may be next for Oando?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, of course, it's great to see the share price appreciation for these reasons. We've had the impressive financial results and the acquisition of NAOC, but of course now it's, like you said, good news all around for Oando so far. So what's on the horizon?
Yeah, I do recall I was making emphasis on the unaudited.
Yes, that's very important to emphasize.
Yes, so I believe in the shortest possible time now, maybe weeks, more than months, the audited financials will come out. I guess it will validate what we know already, maybe plus or minus, and that will have some impact in the market. Right. We also, most importantly, that the new acquisition will start yielding results. The new acquisition will start yielding results, we believe. And as the Minister for Petroleum has said, we believe that Oando should be capable of doing at least 100,000 barrels a day. And then the other thing that you mentioned in the rider, the bid at Trinidad.
Yes, Trinidadian National.
Oando has a 4-way business model now: exploration and production. The other one is clean energy. The other one is trading, and the other one is mining. So the trading company is the one that is bidding this for the assets in Trinidad and Tobago to support their trading business. So Oando is poised for the future, and we believe that in the next, when the financials come out, we're going to know what's happening, and then they'll give us a report card on the new things that have happened, how they have handled the communities. We believe sure they would have ramped up production and, of course, manage the costs also accordingly.
That's certainly going to be very interesting to see. And, congratulations to Oando so far on this one. But what are the key parameters? I like the story about the Trinidadian National Refinery because it also is steeped in history. But what are some of the parameters that will determine Oando taking this bid?
We believe one of the most prominent is track record. I mean, what have they done in the past? And Oando has had a good track record in this segment. Even though they wanted to transit to the upstream sector, the oil and gas sector, they were down there in the downstream for a long time. The trading company has moved large volumes. That business in assets in Trinidad and Tobago will help them in the trading business. A lot of tank farms there that will help them, accumulate products to be able to move internationally, especially, for the South American side. So that's critical. And again, Trinidad and Tobago happens to have some relationship with Nigeria. So on the government-to-government cycle also, Nigeria being the largest black nation in the world, will also get some positive in that, and believe that they're drawing on that network to make sure that this is pushing their favor. Not
to mention the similarities between the two countries, crude oil producing, importing refined products. So very nice terrain to work in. Mr. Chika, I want to thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.